Is Donald Trump dead? Why would I say such a thing? Why would I say such a thing? Well, because he could be. Let's use a little frontier reasoning. Let's go back to when he was in office. And you remember that time that he went into the hospital and he supposedly caught the quote-unquote bug? And he went in the hospital and he got well real quick, didn't he? He got some treatment. What was it, at Bethesda? Probably. I can't remember exactly, but it most likely was Bethesda or one of those high-ranking hospital and treatment centers. Oh, and he went in and he got treated for the bug, and you know what I'm talking about. And he got well, what was it, in a week? But did he really? Or did he really even go in at all? What if he got taken out at that particular time? It would seem like that would have been a golden opportunity for the deep state to strike. What if they substituted a body double? Because there was a lot of speculation at the time about the whole thing. Now, just from my intuitive feelings, and I do have a lot of perception in that area, extrasensory. I looked at that and I'm like, wow, that guy doesn't really look like Trump. Not really. There's something about the eyes, or I don't know, maybe a little bit about the body makeup or the mannerisms or something. I'm like, what's going on here? Did they do a body switch? Did they do, because that wouldn't be hard at all. Not at all. And see, here's the deal. All of these people that follow the truther and the patriot bullshit, they're so ready to believe that that's not really Joe Biden and that body doubles have been substituted, or that actors, and that's not really Hillary Clinton, because these people have been sent off somewhere to the spa or Guantanamo or whatever. They're so ready to believe that, and they accept it without even questioning it. But are they ready to believe that that very same thing could have been done to Donald Trump? And probably was. Now, either that was done, or Donald Trump is a traitor. Can't be anything else but those two things. Because let's look at the facts. The facts are that when Donald Trump came in, he made all kinds of promises that he didn't keep. Such as arresting Hillary. How about we put that number one on the list as a lie? Something he said during the debates. Oh, I'm going to arrest Hillary. How about I'm going to make friends with Putin and we're going to become allies, the greatest allies in the world? How about that? And how about him surrounding himself with deep state players. And we're talking Mike Pompeo and General Mad Dog Mattis and a host of others that people were just scratching their head and going, why is he doing this? These are bad guys. These are deep state players. So how do we know that, let's say Donald Trump was a benevolent guy and that he had America's best interests at heart and he wanted to rebuild America and he wanted to do this and he wanted to do that? Why didn't he do it? Well, maybe he got taken out right at the very get-go. He could have been replaced right from the very beginning. Body doubles. It's not that hard to replace a person. The deep state is very nefarious. They know how to do this stuff exactly. They've done it many, many times. To the T. Plastic surgery, makeup, whatever, CGI. But they don't need to use makeup and CGI because they got guys that they can do plastic surgery on and guys that would probably look better than they did before after they... I mean, I'm telling you right now, there's people that for the right money or even for... because they were blackmailed into it, would do a role, would play the role. Oh, they know how to do this. Don't think that they don't know how to do this. You've seen it even in movies. I mean, hell, even in the old Western movies that I watched, they had body doubles for guys that were stuntmen that would go in and take the place of, say, like John Wayne or Randolph Scott or whoever, and get in there and be fighting in the same clothes and almost have the same look. Now, they can do things that are unbelievable. So Trump very well may be dead. But if he isn't dead, he's a traitor. So take your pick. It's either one or the other. Why do I say he's a traitor? Well, let's look at another incident. Let's look at another scenario here. See, I think with a critical mind and I think with common sense, which most people out there don't have. It's so pathetic. It's so pathetic the way people are. It's unbelievable, really. It's almost... What did Trump do? Here's another thing that's got to make you scratch your head. When this whole thing about the supposed election fraud, and I say supposed because it gets me off the hook with censorship or whatever. But this whole thing in regards to that, what did Trump say? Oh, I'm never going to concede. We're going to fight this thing out to the very end. And then supposedly he signed the Insurrection Act. And people were waiting for the military to come in and take control, and he was never going to leave, right? And all of a sudden, what happened? Oh, it stretched out a little bit, and then, like that, here he was writing his little note to Joe Biden and leaving it on the desk in the Oval Office. And all kinds of people were downhearted. Oh, but wait a minute, wasn't he gonna... well, there's not really going to be an inauguration. Oh, and this stuff went on and on and on. Let's go back to what I was talking about before. When Trump came out, we're going to go back to what I was talking about, because I'm going to put all the pieces together here for you, because you can't think for yourselves, obviously, a lot of people out there. So when he came out of his miraculous cure from Bethesda, what happened then? This ties in with him being a traitor, or not, it not being him. What happened right after that? He got this Joseph Mengele, Nazi war criminal Fauci, okay, in there as a spokesman for this supposed bug that was going around. And what did he do at that time? What did Trump do? What did he promote at that time? Oh, well, this treatment that I got was real good. And so what we're going to do now is that we're going to incorporate a vaccine program, and we're going to do this, and we're going to call it Operation Warp Speed. How do these people out there who say Trump is their savior, who say that Trump is going to free us all from this tyranny and these forced injections and all this stuff, how do these people explain away what Trump did with Operation Warp Speed and promoting the injections and all this stuff? How do they explain that away? You want to hear some silly-ass explanations? You want to hear some really dumb shit explanations? Oh, well, the reason that he did that was because he was under pressure. And the reason that he did that was because he knew that these vaccines were harmless. Oh, and the reason he did that is, well, really he had the military make up these vaccines, and they're not really from this company. And can you believe the bullshit reasoning in that? Oh, he did it because he was cornered. He did this and he did that. Well, if that's true, here's where reasoning comes in. If that's true, well, why the fuck is he still pushing it right now? With people, documented cases we're talking about, of people dropping dead like fucking flies. And he's still pushing this? Oh yeah, go out, this is good for you. What does that tell you, people? It tells you that Trump, if he was a good guy, if from the very beginning the real Donald Trump was a good guy and he had the country's best interests at heart, and blah-bitty-blah, on and on and on, would he be doing that now? He's dead. Either he's dead or he's a traitor. There is no in between. There is no gray area. He is either dead or he's a fucking traitor. So let's not go into fantasy land and make up all kinds of weird excuses to cover your belief hopes that you have been sucked into and lied to I'm telling you, the way they work things is beyond your wildest imagination. The covert procedures that they put into place are beyond your wildest imagination. Body doubles, plastic surgery, easily done, easily done. Did they take Trump out? Well, they might have if he was a good guy. But see, I even have questions about that. Because if he was such a good guy, why do some of these earmarks, or why is it that if he was so honorable, we see things like pictures of him with Jeffrey Epstein, schmoozing it up, having a good time, looks like. And Jeffrey Epstein is supposed to be a bad guy, a purveyor of sex crimes and all that good shit. Trump's dead or he's a traitor. One of the two. And so what that does... Oh, and here's another thing, just came to my mind. Another thing that came as an offshoot to all of this stuff is this Q movement bullshit. Came off of all this, excuse me, stuff that happened as Trump was coming into office and as he was supposedly maybe having a hard time because he wasn't supposed to get in there, right? So all of a sudden, off of this hard time he was having in office, sprouted this Q movement, which is also a fantastic lie. And that's what the truthers and patriots buy into. So all of this stuff could be completely orchestrated from the very beginning. The whole Donald Trump mystery, the whole Donald Trump, is he an actor? Is he the best actor in the world? Is he playing a role as a good guy and is actually a traitor? Is he dead? Well, again, you're so willing to believe that Joe Biden is dead and Joe Biden is being portrayed by CGI or a body double, and you're so willing to believe that Hillary has been sent off to Guantanamo and she's been executed. And here's another excuse that came off of this whole thing about when Trump left office. So we're back to when Trump left office. And he let a lot of people down because he didn't put into motion the Insurrection Act and the military and all this stuff. Why didn't he do that, people say? Why didn't he do that? Well, what kind of rhetoric came out then? To cover their ass, these so-called truther and patriot people. Well, you see, the rhetoric came out then. We'll see. Well, actually, this had to happen because it's done to wake people up, and it's done so that people will see that the Democrats and Biden and all those guys are, how bad they are. We really need to see the bad guys. We really need to see them in action. We really need, but before that, they were all for the military just coming in and taking to control. But when that didn't happen, they had to make up an excuse. They had to make up another excuse. Well, really the reason is because, well, you see, unless 80%, that's a wano saving thing. All of these people are full of shit. Wano Savin and Mel K. No comments on her channel, by the way. And Nino and Jaco and the whole rest of the jackanapes, okay, that buy into that. Well, really, it's because, man, if I was sitting down in the old South and you tried to lay this bullshit on any good old boy down there, they would call you on it on the fucking heartbeat. They would call you on it in a fucking heartbeat. Don't try to sell me that shit, brother. They see right through bullshit. The problem is that most people don't have bullshit detectors. And they don't think critically, and they don't think outside of the box. They can't tell bullshit. So I'm telling you right now, and you can take this to the bank, you can believe in this, that Trump is either dead or he is a fucking traitor. And these people that are perpetuating this whole bullshit that I just talked about, this whole movement, forget those people. What we need is frontier justice. That whole movement was created to make you passive and make you sit on your ass and to look over there and to look over here and to look over there for some type of savior and false hope. And while people are looking over there and looking over here, the agenda continues with this phony medical procedures instituted by Trump. He was in office. This happened when he was in office. And he perpetuated the whole fucking Fauci warp speed bullshit. And elderly are suffering, and babies are suffering, kids are suffering. Biden just took the ball. He handed off the baton to Biden. Why did Trump do this? Well, if he didn't do it, he's dead. And if he did do it, he's a traitor. And it's all a dog and pony show. I think I've given you enough to think about. And if you can't reason this out, if you still want to make these fucking excuses, like a little whimpering, whining brat, oh, but this, the reason that this happened, and the reason that that happened, and really? I'm going to leave it there. I think I've said enough. I think I put all the pieces together. I might have left something out. But you have got to be a really dumb shit if you want to just pass what I'm saying off as fantasy. It's not fantasy, and you know damn well I'm right. You know damn well in your heart I'm right. Because you've had questions. I see all kinds of questions to these so-called truthers about, well, why hasn't this happened? And what about the military? And I'm not going to wait a second longer, and it's getting childish shit. Can't believe how infantile people's minds are. You need some frontier justice. You need to get out. You need to lock and load. You need to take these bad actors, these outlaws, down. Take them to the nearest tree, like over here, and hang their ass. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Have fun.